Shop, we're live.
Yeah.
There you are. So first off, we'll do the formalities.
Yeah.
We're here with Mike and Matt from M&M BBQ, custom barbecue fabrication for commercial and hopefully residential soon by the sounds of things.
Very, very soon. Very
There you
soon.
are.
Within the next probably month or so.
Wicked.
Yep.
So probably by the time this is aired, you'll be doing residential too.
Yes.
So
It's-
everyone that's listening, come and buy residential barbecues and they'll be fantastic.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so let's get cracking. So who are Mike and Matt?
Okay. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm Matt Sutton. So we've known each other since we were 10 years old.
Wow.
We met in, 5th grade in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
riding bikes and growing up and being kids. Yeah, elementary school, middle school, high school, and college together. And then at the end of college, I decided I wanted to work with my hands, so I packed up and moved to Wyoming and went to tech school and lived out west for, 7 years?
Yeah.
So I built
Long
custom
time.
cars, sheet metal fabrication, chassis fabrication,
Nice.
TIG welding, all that in California for, I think 7 years roughly, before wanting to get out of California, number one, and just looking for something a little better that I wanted to do for myself. And I don't know, the stars kind of aligned perfect. Long history of knowing him since I was a little kid, and we both kind of had our eyes on the same thing, and we'll get back into where we were going after that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to show our age, but we've known each other for pretty much 30 years now. So we've pretty much been inseparable since we were kids. That was the longest time me and him have ever really been separated, is when he went there. And he's being modest. He did super high-end pro touring cars, like full chassis sheet metal and all that stuff. So it's the stuff that he did was amazing. So my backstory is we both went to the same college together, and I was in between then I was helping my dad do repairs on smokers. So my dad's been doing it for about 30 years. I'm a second generation. So he would travel all over the nation. He would work on smokers, so he would bring me along with it even when I was like 10. I still remember, going on it and him putting gas in a diesel truck and being pulled over on the side of the road once. So that's another story that we could do. But, so I have barbecue in my veins. My dad's been doing it, and I've been doing it for a really long time. So I've been doing it for almost day to day for about 17 years now, give or take around in there. As you get older, the years fly by.
Yeah.
But so I've been around it for a long time. And I've got to see all kinds of different places and all that. And I got to see the back stories of some of our customers, because barbecue is really a family thing. It's still a major family thing.
tight-knit
It's
community.
insane tight. So it's been really awesome to see the last 3 to 5 years. It has exploded, and it's been wonderful to see it go everywhere,
Yeah.
from West Coast to East Coast, and then obviously overseas. So it's been wonderful. So long story short is I did that and all that, and then me and him always talked and all that, and he's like, man, I want to get back to Texas. And I'm like, well, hey, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It's been a dream of mine to really start building, because I'm seeing all these things that we could do, and with his skills and my skills together, like we can really make the perfect product, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve our customers' problems. We started in commercial, and we still do commercial. That's our main thing. And then we're, like we talked about earlier, we're starting to get into the residential, and we're bringing the same concepts that we do for the big customers, and we're shrinking it down. So the pits that you see that are, in these big places, you're getting the same type of stuff. Everything's hand built here, by the way, too.
Yeah.
So we don't do anything outsourced. Everything is in-house.
Yeah, short of the steel. We noticed that when we came here. Short of the steel being rolled, soon as into sheet form. As soon as you get sheet form and stock material, it's all here, isn't it? You got your own CNC plasma,
Yep.
own rolling jigs, own press brake, the whole kit caboodle.
Yep.
That must have been quite important for the development of the company. How long's the company been going for?
So the building of the pits has been about 6 years now. The pits themselves since 2003. Since M&M BBQ, it's M&M BBQ Pit Repair, and then M&M BBQ Company is under it, but since 2003.
Right. So you've been building your own stuff. So that's not a lot of time to have such a big
Yeah, you've
spot
gone quickly.
Yeah.
and product line.
There's a lot of, like he said, so the established 2003 is about when M&M started, and that was M&M BBQ Pit Repair. So
Yep.
the whole foundation of this is 15, 20 years of restaurant relationships. So that really helped a lot, like pure knowledge of what our customer wants, problems they want to solve, what they're after. And that's where our problem solving, we're an incredibly innovative, moving forward company. We always want to solve your problems, while looking good doing it. It's kind of, we've said it, functional aesthetics is something that's kind of in our, our core focus of our company. But your dad started doing service in late 90s, didn't he?
Yeah. So he was doing it even before the 2003, but that's when we established was 2003, but he was doing it well before that.
Right, okay, so it's very much, as you said, in the veins. What makes M&M different? Because we've seen a couple of others out there.
Yeah.
But what do you think makes M&M different, and what makes you guys so special? Is it that just been doing it since the 90s? You can't buy that experience, can you?
Yeah, and that's one of the major things. What we do aesthetically, and what comes from mine and his, a lot of his. We want you to have a functional piece of art. We want, when you go in there, you go, oh, you got an M&M. Wow.
Yeah.
And you can see it. And we do our designs to where it's very exclusive to M&M. And so we don't just do this is the way it's been done, this is the way it's been done, and change nothing. Ours is innovate. Let's see how awesome we can make this and making it functional. Everything we do starts with function, and then we start adding the art and making it look awesome.
How important do you think that doing it your way is, not only to for other makers, but not only to you guys, personally, but for the success of a company like this?
Say that one more time.
How important do you think it is just to not follow suit and to go and do it your own way? So maybe some advice to other makers and to some guidance for other makers to not follow suit, because we're all on social media, we all see loads of cool stuff every day.
Yeah.
But to just do it your way.
Well, I don't know, one of my whole things has been pursuing passion in finding what you're good at, what drives you, and figure out how to get paid to do it. Is kind of like the happy spot in life, I think. And I think if you truly believe in what you do and you're after it, it'll show. Yeah. And you kind of win on both fronts, because not only do you win, you're kind of getting to do your style and what you want to do, but everyone that buys your product gets kind of a bespoke piece of equipment. Like, there's no other builder out there that's putting out the style and what we're putting out. And there's people that attempt, there are people that are going to. We get a lot of people that pull from our style, and that's part of design. Like, we do too. You see things, you're inspired. But it's neat because, like he just said, our branding is very subtle. It's very minimalist. We're not like real in your face with slapping things on, unless it's big events occasionally here and there. But you can spot our equipment from a mile away. And it's not just, it looks killer, in my opinion. It's our style. It's what we like.
Yeah.
But the reputation we're getting as well is it's also incredibly efficient. It saves you money, and that's all because we didn't go, well, this is how everyone does it. This is how it's always been done. Don't mess with it.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
You're just you're standing on your own pedestal, aren't you?
We don't forever see like a set product and that's it, and it'll be like that forever.
Yeah. And we've gotten some pushback. When we first started coming in, our first thought was, okay, what can we do better? What can we do better? Not just cut a hole in something and just throw it together like that. We were like, how can we make this better for the customer? How can we do this? And we would do these things, and at the beginning, people are like, what are they doing this for?
Change. Whoa.
Yeah, change. What is this?
Yeah.
It's like, they're doing this to the bottom of the fire blocks. They're doing this, the square bottom, round top. Like, why? I mean, and we got a decent amount of pushback at the beginning, and ours is like, we're going to let the product speak for itself.
Yeah.
Like he said earlier, typically we don't have M&M plastered all over everything. A lot of times it's just this. Even on our backyard is me just M&M. We let the product speak for itself, and the more we get it out there, the more people get to use them. And they're like, wow, this saved me, like our rotisseries, this saved me $20,000 this year. This saved my company, this saved my marriage, this helped me have a better way of life. So like once we get it out there and people can see it and play with it and feel it and actually get the experience, that's when it really starts to.
That's where reputations are made.
That's right.
Yeah. And on side note, like my favorite thing, so we just did an event in Houston Rodeo, is we have a few new products that you saw that were out there that they're pretty much forged in fire. We'll draw it, we'll design it, what we want to do, and then we let real chefs and real cooks use it out in the field.
Nice.
And then you get nothing but positive feedback and constructive criticism.
Yep.
This is killer. I like this. I'd like to see this. I don't like this. We take that back to the drawing board. Go,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
We got 3 people that said they don't like this, they like that. We'll change that and we'll do it. And that's how we fine tune our product. You know, already has a solid foundation, but
Yeah.
you know, when you get someone that does this for a living, say, hey, I'd like to see this. Go, no
It's
problem.
really useful for you to grow
You know?
on.
Yeah, that
Okay.
feels like
Yeah.
a real sensible, like just to talk hardcore business decision, a real sensible decision, because it's like we'll all do it. My background's in mechanical engineering, and we'll all make things easier to make. You know, you'll be hardwired to make things easier to make.
Mm-hmm.
But then having a chef being like, yeah, that's really cool. This is all well and good, but it needs this, or can
Yeah.
you add this?
Yep.
You know, that
Yeah.
seems like that's a really important thing for you guys to be doing. Because they are functional people. They're tools, aren't
Yeah.
they? They
Yeah.
are tools.
It's
ultimately.
really, it's the engineer-fabricator battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it works
Is
in
it
my
feasible?
computer. It works in my computer, but then the guy building it by hand goes, well, it doesn't work out here. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't. It may fit in there. It's not doing it out here. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's a wonderful balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was that balance hard? Sorry, on you.
Yeah, and you know, we love that feedback. Like some people, you know, they're like, whoa, this is what it is, and there's no changes. Like us, we're like, it's beautiful. You know, like, oh man, you could do this, you can do this. Awesome. We're gonna put it in. We're gonna put it in our heads, and we're gonna say, this is how we can make this happen.
Oh,
we
it makes it
love
better.
that.
Yeah.
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 That's wicked. That's really good. So what does the product range look like at the moment? Because, I mean, one of the things that, and I do want to talk about it later, that was really interesting to me was the new development for the new rotisseries and just how much wood and pit labour that saves.
Yeah.
But what does it look like? You still do the massive smoker type stuff. What else are we all doing at the moment?
Yeah, so we are, as far as we know, the only builder in the world that does what we're doing right now. We do NSF ETL rotisseries, from huge ones that can do 72 plus briskets. You know, we also scaled it all the way down. We have 4 different series, all the way down to a backyard rotisserie that can do 4 briskets at a time. That's thermostat control. So we do that, but then we also do offsets. You know, traditional 1,000 gallons, 500, 250s, all the way down to this little guy behind us, 100 gallons.
Yeah.
So not only do we rotisseries that are ETL NSF certified, we also do offsets. Now, I think we're already going to have this launch, so you're going to get something that we really haven't told anybody yet. We're going to have the first ever that's going to be standard NSF and ETL certified offsets.
Nice.
So far as we know,
that's
no one
for
has that.
anyone that doesn't know. That's National Sanitation Foundation. So basically, food safe and ETL is fire safe.
Right.
So we could put our smokers in an airport, you know,
Nice,
and
nice.
the contractors can go, okay, thank you. Like,
Tick.
you have a $20,000 sticker on there. We can do.
Yeah.
It's very important to have too, because what a lot of these other cities are doing, I've had to talk with a lot of fire departments and all that stuff, you know, at the beginning, because they don't know it. Even the big ones, they've never really seen them. Like, what is this? And you have to explain. And we had to fly them in, get them to check everything, make sure everything is safe. But now this is going to give us the necessary tools for our customers to be able to go to the city and say, listen, this has been certified, this is good. So you don't buy a super expensive piece of equipment and then go, you can't use it.
Yep.
You know,
Which
so
we've seen.
Yeah.
We've seen it many times.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yeah, that also seems to, from the sounds of it, put you in a place that there is no competition.
Not really, no. And the initial cost is high. You know, we had to do a lot of stuff, a lot of research. I mean, I think when we went to NSF for ours, it might have took 2 years off my life because
Yeah.
it was
Oh, man.
so
Yeah.
much they wanted.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got it done. So now we kind of know what we need to do, you know. So at the end of the day, our customer is number one. So if we can ease that burden off of them with the city and all these things and say, hey, listen, you're buying almost a guarantee that we're going to be here for you. We're going to talk to the city. We're going to help you with this. So we're the only ones that I know that do all that. And then we do our Santa Marias as well. Our Santa Marias are NSF and ETL certified as well. So we've done that. We've covered it, tried to on all bases. You know, we have executive chefs that cook on these, you know, executive pit masters, you know, and we want them to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing, isn't it? If you can provide safety with it. And sometimes it's just seeing the bit of paper that says it's safe is enough to sway a sale in your direction, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, not all your stuff's custom built to spec though, is it? It's your specs now. That's correct?
That's ours, yeah.
So it's all your specs, even the big trailer unit and stuff. So are you doing semi-custom stuff as well as, or is that an off-the-shelf product?
No, a lot of what we do is custom In fact, almost to a fault. We just constantly, again, we're constantly innovating. We've gone through 9 different fireboxes on ours till we finally got it nailed.
Yeah, now
like
it's
nailed.
it's spot on.
So,
yeah.
we do a lot of, we love to do custom work, but when it comes to when it comes to ETL stuff and NSF stuff, we usually have set things that we can do because of those certifications. But yeah.
And how do you approach that from a making and business point of view? Because this isn't like a ceramicist trying to do a custom cup. This is big steel, there's big costs involved in that. How have you guys, you must be standardising some parts to make that achievable. I think this question's kind of posed to other makers that are trying to do semi-custom stuff. There's only so much we can do totally customisable within our own financial bounds, isn't there? So how about, have you just taken certain things that definitely work and then, or even the innovation you're talking about, that's time consuming and costly.
Yeah, well, it's the road that we're on, kind of the phase that we're in right now is like super structure organization mode, where we have our bread and butter, which is our rotisseries. That one is to spec. Like we're at the point now that there's next to zero variation at all in our rotisseries. In our, I'd say our 2 biggest models, our 1000 and 2000 spec, we have jigs for virtually every single part, every single piece, everything's saved in CAD. Like, we're learning and growing in SolidWorks right now, and really expanding our efficiency on that side. So these are going to get to the point where we can shave how fast we put them down to really, really quick, which allots us the time, the more efficient we get to innovate on the side. And a lot of the custom stuff is more, I kind of see it like when I was building cars, is kind of the sales and marketing and branding aspect. It allows us to work with some really cool clients, and kind of get our product, new stuff and capabilities out in front of markets that haven't seen it, So,
and we got some killer builds coming up with some killer custom stuff.
We've talked a lot about it over there, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for a couple of them.
The fun ones that you have to keep your mouth shut on. You want to talk about.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think, a couple of the ones we're going to be launching, it's going to be, it should shake the earth a little bit. It should be pretty cool.
Do you think you're in a phase of the business now that's really the making of M&M? What you were telling me with these big customers, it feels like this is the little company based in Tool, Texas, that's very much about to go worldwide.
That is our plan. That is our ultimate goal, is to go worldwide. And we're in that growth phase, what you were saying earlier. We've put a lot of time, we work a lot of hours, and I get calls from customers going, Mike, slow down, like you're going a little, and that's great because that shows a relationship with our customers.
As they're texting you at Sunday at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's true. As they text me at 11 o'clock on a Sunday, but
it kind of comes with service life. Like I said, the foundation of this company is service. So we're not going to leave anyone hanging out and dry. We've had issues with a product where the next day we had to drive to Arkansas to go fix it.
Because these products are making people money. These products are the keystone to a lot of people's livelihoods.
Yeah. Like I say all the time, it sounds simple, but some people don't. The way we make money is by saving you money. If I can make your life easy, your job easier, your day-to-day easier, if you sleep better at night, that's where we'll thrive. So
it's a good way to sell a product, isn't it?
It's
you spend this money and we're going to make it
and it's
easier
genuine because we really care. I'm not just trying to say, because selling you something that's, you're going to turn around and go, well, that didn't work, then I'm never going to get your business again.
Yeah, well, it's pretty transparent though, isn't it? Like, anyone can make the remark that you've just made of, we'll sell it to save you money, but that only works once.
That's right.
Because as soon as it doesn't work, the whole world knows about it, and the whole world knows about it like that, real quick.
That's kind of why we consider every one of our customers and clients are like part of the M&M family. We have our own, we have a VIP hat that is only given to people that own our product.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's just them. You're the only people that can have it, because people want it. It's a cool looking hat. It's like an alpine camo hat with the gold M&M badge on it, but
nice.
It's just part of the branding. It's family, because the industry we are in, like we said earlier, is really tight knit. It's kind of cool. It's pretty
big time.
Amazing to see how many people work together that you wouldn't think would.
And you get to see their family grow. Like, I have kids, and most of the time they have kids, and you get to see their kids play together when you go to either their store or we go to festivals or any of that stuff. So you get to see them grow. So you generally want to see them thrive.
Yeah.
Again, because if they don't do well, we don't do well.
Yeah.
you know. So we try to make sure to do everything in our power to help them win, you know, and to do as best as possible for their family. So
Yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you know, our passion is strong with that. It is, you know,
I can
and
see that.
Yeah.
and the thing about it is this is us. This is every day, dang near 70 hours a week that we put into this. It's our heart and soul, and you know, so.
Yeah, you know, it's not the first time I've said it with makers. It's a dangerous, dangerous game to put your name on the front of a company.
Yeah.
Because that company becomes you.
That's right.
And you become that company overnight.
Yeah.
And then people
Yes.
don't just blame the company, or especially when it's
You're
a little
right.
bigger outfit like this, they blame you guys personally.
Yeah.
Like, if someone, you know, if someone misfabricates something, I know you, that doesn't happen here because you guys have got super high quality control, but if that did get missed, like, doesn't matter who's done it, it's you guys that are het for it.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So what does the process look like? You know, if I'm coming to you and want to open my own pit, what does that process look like?
Yeah. So I personally love it when people come and check out the facility. That way we can show you exactly what we've done, the changes we've made, what pit you're getting, and and we can usually go through and stuff like that, and just a starter kind of pack and all that stuff. So we do that, and we'll a lot of times they'll need specs and stuff like that for their cities and all that, and then we'll start choosing colors and all that, and then they'll put a deposit down, which is 50% down, and then we'll get you a build date, and then we start rocking. We make it pretty simple. Well, at least we try to make it simple.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have any automated system is like going online and clicking, and we haven't made that out just yet. It's still very personal. It's still when you call, and you're calling my cell.
Yeah.
You know, like I just had a executive chef from California. He's like, dude, I did not know, because I handed my phone to my wife. He's like, I did not know I had your personal cell phone number. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, of
like
course you do. I'm the business.
Yeah.
The first name's me.
Yeah, the first name is me. You know,
Yeah.
we haven't handed that off to a service or any of that stuff. No, it's us. When you call it, they'll just say, am I talking to Mike or Matt?
Yeah.
You know, and
It's really
that's
cool.
how it is.
And it depends if Matt's welding or not, or who's
Yeah.
who's in the shop, really.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Most of the time it's me on the phone. You
Yeah.
know, that I'd say 90% of the time.
So they call, they put a deposit down, and then it's just a case of, this is what we want. So you mentioned like different city specs, that all cities will have different specs that you need to adhere to, yeah?
Well, most of the time the specs that we have on ours, we just need to make sure that they are aware of how those specs work.
Right.
So a lot of times they don't even know what they're looking at yet, so we have to explain what our specs are for, and then
Right.
so far I haven't had a single problem.
Great.
And we have some in Chicago and some of the harder cities, and well, we're about to one to California, so like we've had some harder cities. Florida was kind of difficult, some of them in there, but we always made it through.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you're over specking from the start to make sure it
Yes.
answers everything.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then what are your two positions in the business? Matt, we know that primarily since we've come in, you've been sort of heading up the fabrication side. Do you take very similar approaches to the business, or do you both kind of manage separate aspects?
We are one and separate.
Yeah.
I started doing a lot of the welding, doing all that stuff, and as we've grown, I have to make sure the customers are taken care of. So it's been really difficult for me to always have my helmet on and try to be in here doing this, and also try to take care of the customers. So for the most part, Matt has been the one that's been in here doing most of the welding, most of all that stuff. So, and then anything major, we bounce off of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's a two-headed monster,
Yeah.
really. You know, the majority of what I do is design and try and problem solve and build new things, but that goes hand in hand. I'll come up with an idea or what I want to do. He'll have an idea, and then we'll do something, or we'll build it, or he'll go, I've seen this in the field of this area, I don't really like that, or I like that, let's run with it. Let's try it, and we'll build. So it's a balance of ambition and design and style and functionality. So
Yep.
we give each other the yes or no of the idea, or, you know,
So
it runs on itself.
It's funny you mentioned about expensive and costs and stuff like that, and then sometimes this is where you almost try too much sometimes. Like we created the firebox. I think it was like Gen 3 firebox, and I was like, man, I just wanted a little bit bigger. I wanted a little bit bigger, and he's like, man, I don't know, it's pretty set right now. I'm like, a little bit bigger, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we made it a little bit bigger, and we actually end up, the bigger one is better, but
Yeah.
we made the inlet just a little bit too big. And for us, we're chasing perfection, so we had to we were like, dang it, swung and missed on that one. I was like, well, that was me being a little over ambitious on it. And then, but then we got together again. We're like, okay, we need to change this little bit more, and then that's how we got to this Gen 9 firebox to where we are. But that
Gen
was
9 firebox.
Yeah.
So you've done 9 different
Nine different
fireboxes
ones.
to
They're
this
all
one.
over the place.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
so we finally got it.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of the game of, and they're not like aggressively different.
Yes.
No,
It's
no,
subtle,
it's an iterative
very,
process.
very subtle. Okay, this needs to be updated. I didn't like what happened with this, or we don't like where the airflow is on this.
Yeah.
Until it was kind of, we were trying to nullify a temp that was up here, and then first hit, we like dropped it. We're like, all right, well, we're in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just maybe
But
too off.
it's a little too low. Now it's a little too cool, and now it's okay, a little hot, to where now, yeah, we've got it as tight as it gets,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
pretty
So-
cool, though.
And we're talking inches, by the way. We're not talking like
Yeah.
we're only talking like, let's go 2 inches.
Yeah, a little
you know.
change here, a little change
Yeah.
there. And then, so you guys just fabbing that out of your own time and just working that time into the workshop to get that done, and then test it all on yourself. These aren't getting tested on the chef testing side. That's ones you guys are happy with it, isn't it?
No, some are on-site testing.
Yeah.
We are throw it, let's roll.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of guys.
And now everything gets seasoned and cooked and
Yep.
fired before it goes out. We run everything, and this doesn't mean like big swing and miss. They all are cooking fantastic.
Yeah.
There's no problem with it.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, we're chasing perfection
perfection.
as much as we can
Yeah.
until we finally found it. And I think we're right about where we're at. Not that anything that out there isn't cooking fantastic. We've got
Yeah.
a phenomenal reputation. So
Yeah, and the thing is, again, to put more context into that, is the change that we make are very small, they're subtle, and that it's still cooking like a monster.
Yeah.
It's just for us, we're like, we could get 2 degrees. We could get 2 degrees better. So we're constantly always chasing that one. We've already tested it, and we already know that it's, in our opinion, one of the top. We're just still constantly trying to get a little bit better. I mean, I still tell people to this day that the pitch you get today is not going to be the same one you're going to get, in 6 months. I say tomorrow,
Yeah.
because we're constantly always innovating and getting
It's a
better.
good way to be, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Dangerous way to be, though.
Yeah.
Expensive.
It's expensive and
Expensive way to
dangerous.
be.
Yeah, it is. Do you think you're maybe, so you obviously are, I was going to say do you think you are, but I'm just going to tell you, you are a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I would say we are, yes.
Yeah.
Were you perfectionist when you started this? Or is it the passion for this that has driven that perfection?
I'd say I have
I'd
been.
say
So
for
I'm,
sure, yeah.
I'm an artist. I've been an artist my whole life. So since I was a kid well, I haven't drawn in years now, but part of the car world, and I've been a car nut. We grew up drag racing and street racing and going out to the drag strip out here, and I've been an artist my whole life. I got it from my dad. So I did rendering work for shops. So people would say, we're building this car, we want to do this, and I draw it and design it and
Nice.
do a rendering for them. So that kind of comes to territory for me. I have a really sharp eye for detail, and then spending close to a decade in the high-end world, and the custom car world is another level of detail. So I was in like the pro builder pavilion side, which is like some of the top metal fabricators in the world. Like if the whole car, when it's done after paint and finish, isn't 1/8 inch laser cut gaps, you're like a laughing stock of the community. So
Yeah.
there's really, really big shops and a really big world, and you kind of get formed to shape in that industry till you have a really sharp eye for detail, and you can pick things up across the way that 99% of people don't see.
Yeah.
So, but
you
it's
see-
good.
1%
it's
sees, that 1%
kind of like
sees.
what they always say. If you're shooting at something, aim small, miss small. So, the better I can get and train and teach men to be craftsmen, the better we get.
Yeah.
And people pick up on that. They really can see it in the quality of the product and the detail. So,
How hard has that been to build a team with such
Yeah.
perfection and
Yeah.
such lofty goals?
It hasn't been super. I mean, it's been like any business right now. It's tough to run a business post COVID. I mean, COVID. Every year we've always done this, but we have noticed that it has gotten a lot more difficult to have a business and to grow a business
Yeah.
during COVID and even past COVID. It started getting kind of good, and then it's kind of lulled back down again. Parts are getting harder to get again, so like those day-to-days that we didn't have to deal with back then, we're having to deal with even today.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, we're a small but mighty crew. We want to make sure, again, aim small, miss small. We had our growing pains, and we still have our growing pains because we were like, hey, let's see how we can do, like, if we get more guys, and we were like, no, let's just go small thin and efficient. You know,
Yeah.
efficient is our goal in anything. You know, so it's been difficult. We still got a lot more growing pains to go.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be boring if you didn't, though.
Yeah.
It'd be real boring if you didn't.
It's a
Big
running
time.
joke. We always say the stress that, you know, blessed to be stressed, but say one
Yeah.
day we'll look back at all this stress stuff and laugh at it and miss it. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. We'll see about the stress part.
Yeah.
Well, people miss the stress. I don't,
Yeah.
but it's a wonderful. You know, we talk about all the time to be able to get to do what we love every single day. Man, that's precious. I mean,
Yeah.
that is precious because
Yeah,
not a lot
it's-
of people get to do that. You
No,
know,
you're right.
when I was telling you about, we had like a 14, 16 hour day yesterday, and I was talking with one of the other chefs there, and we were just talking about how great this is to be able to do what we do. She was like, you know, I was a VIP accountant, and now I'm a barbecue. Like, that's what I do, and I'm like, it beats staring at a cubicle, in my opinion, all day. I'd rather be looking at this and doing what I love every day.
I'd sooner be working 12 hours doing what I love than 6 hours in a
Yeah.
cubicle.
Boom, bingo.
That's exactly
100%.
what pushed me out to Wyoming. We graduated college. We all have a bachelor's of business degree in marketing. Me, him, and his wife.
Right.
And
Perfect.
we graduated. I graduated right before '08, the big stock market crash, and so there was nothing but like sales jobs.
Yeah.
And I knew 3 months in, I had already made my mind up, but I spent like, I think it's maybe 9 months in a sales and marketing job and doing really well out of college, especially when time went down. Like, I could have been making six figures the second
Yeah.
year, but it was sitting in a cubicle, making phone calls, selling advertising, and I'd never been more miserable in my life. And I was,
Gotta be happy.
I'm out, man. Like, I take this being responsible for something, even though, you know, it's a very small percentage of people that are true entrepreneurs, because the stress and the work is next level. Like you said, putting your name on something.
Put your name on
is-
something, man. There's
it's
something
a-
real special
Most
having your
people
name on
don't
something.
understand, what comes with it, and we didn't understand completely.
No, we
coming
didn't.
with it, really.
No.
You know, I didn't know. You know,
I mean, when it was just me and him, because it started with just me and him. We'd come in on Saturdays and we'd get fireboxes, and me and him would just rip out 20 or 30 of them, the shells. It was just me and him.
Yeah.
That we would just sit there and I still remember the first time we did that, and we took a video, and we were just so proud of us doing this, almost like 10 fireboxes and stuff. And it was very simple. It was just me and him. You know, as you grow, you know, it gets more complicated, you know, and so, but again, if you want to be here, you have to be willing to put in that effort. You have to be. And then when you, like you said earlier, when your name's on it, you have to give it up here. There's no, we were talking about earlier about perfectionists. I've always been a perfectionist. I've always, in everything I ever did, I wanted to be the best at everything I did. Put everything, and we were small kids. We were super small. We grew up kind of underdogs. You know,
Yeah.
so I always had that underdog mentality, like, yeah, I'm too small for this. Too small for that position. You're too short to be able to run that. And
And did you guys grow up in Tool, Texas as well?
no,
No, I
grew
was
up
gonna
in
say, 'cause
Garland.
this seems like very small town Texas.
Yeah.
Garland, which is a suburb of Dallas, so
Right.
Yeah.
So small town Texas itself as well, yeah. So I don't want to go on too long because I know you guys are itching to get back at it. A few last questions. What does the future for M&M look like? We've obviously talked about going into residential. You've got a few big things on the horizon. We've talked a lot about some big goals. Is there any of those goals you can discuss with us?
You want to start? And I'll finish
yeah. Well, the one that I'm excited about we're on now is not just barbecue world and craft world, but we're really stepping into the culinary world. So live fire, and really starting to work with some executive chefs. So that's because obviously we have our eyes, we have a global mindset. So you know, I want people to see this and know what it is. Like the McDonald's Golden Arches. You know, you don't need to see it. You can be internationally recognized as a supreme product. You know, that means business, but you can pick us apart. So I'm really excited about the next culinary step.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Yep. And that's perfect, actually. I mean, that's what our goal
Nailed
is.
it.
Yeah.
You just knocked it right out of the park. But yeah, I mean, that was our goals. They're high, they're ambitious, to some may seem, but we already see it. Like, we've known each other so long, we already almost know what's in each other's heads. We see it here, we just gotta let everybody else see it, And as we grow and grow and grow, our goal is to be international and be in the backyard. Somebody has a backyard unit and the best 5-star restaurant there as well.
And they're both from M&M.
They're both
Yep.
from M&M.
Yeah. So we've obviously asked you loads of questions. Is there anything you want to cover while we're here? part
What's
of the
y'all
business.
story?
Yeah. Where's y'all's? Where y'all heading to next after this?
Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, our stomping grounds.
So
That's
we're
not-
in, yeah,
where
we're
we
in
grew
Dallas.
up, so-
We're 3-4 days in Dallas,
Yeah.
and then Waco, Austin, Houston, and then fly out.
Wow.
So
Man,
That is
finally,
amazing.
finally back out. You said you've been here 21 days already.
21. This is day 21.
Man.
So in total, we're here for 38 days. So
How long? How long's the flight back?
9.5
Nine and a half, nine
That's
and
not
a
too
half
bad.
to London, and then an hour from London to home.
We're hoping to go to Europe this year. I think. Well, I know he is for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to Sweden
Yeah.
and then France.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
But
so-
if you ever make it to Scotland,
Yeah,
I want
Oh,
to.
absolutely. We absolutely. Yeah.
And
There's always
I
a
call
bed, so just let us know.
Deal.
I call it the motherland, so
Yeah.
I have like
Deal, man.
10%.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
gotta go to the motherland.
Yeah.
Gotta get.
But I've got one more question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh man, I'll be brutally honest. Start earlier. I wish I would have started a little earlier.
Yeah.
That's the advice I would give myself. Be more patient. Listen a little bit more. That would be big for me. You know,
Yeah.
listen, patience, start earlier. You know, because the thing is, you know, we're told to go out and party and enjoy and do all that stuff. You know, it's like, man, I really wish my 20-year-old self would have been like hunkered down. You know, so that'd be my advice.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same lines of that. We've said it. We've got a couple guys here that are started when they were 17, 18, and I always tell them, I'm like, man, dude, you are light years ahead of where we were. Like, you're already at a place that you have a legitimate shot at building a real career at, you know. And we went to college, and that was kind of the culture in the 90s. You know, we were born in the early 80s, 83.
Yep.
And it was kind of the 90s, 2000s was kind of a go to college, you know, and you have to, but it was just a lot of partying. You know, if I could go back, I'd
It's
tell,
changing
I'd
now,
tell,
though, isn't it? Like
Huh?
higher education, that culture's changing now.
Oh yeah,
Big time.
Yeah.
Trade school, I think, and tradecraft is on its way up, which we need desperately. So I would tell more young men to, if you don't 100% know what you want to do, don't waste your time with college. Start working, get some real skills, because
I like that.
you know,
We're noticing that change back home as well.
Yeah.
And,
skills pay the bills. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important to keep
Yeah.
the skills alive.
and,
For
yeah,
sure.
you'll be light years ahead of your peers if they take a different route. If you actually start working and putting some time in. So
yes.
yeah,
Well, thank you very
Well,
much.
guys,
for
yeah,
your
thanks.
time.
I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed seeing your. This was a cool place to be.
yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
For
Thank
anyone
you.
else listening, if you're in Tool, Texas, it's a
Yeah.
cool place to check
I appreciate it, man. That means a lot. Y'all coming out.
out. Yes.
Perfect.
Let's wrap it up. Let you guys get back to work.
You missed the whole
Busy,
thing.
busy.
You're late.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely.
We got to switch off.
Nice to meet you.